We now return to Let's Play the Banner Saga. You notice most of the Varl pacing while others sleep. Their brief conversations with each other and other clansmen grow shorter and sharper. "Go away," roars one Varl at a young girl asking him too many questions. All the clansmen stop and stare. "I'm impressed you've kept it together this long." The Varl's embarrassment slowly morphs into irritation. "We endure many pains," he says, sneering at the gawking crowd. As he stalks off, the crowd murmurs common insults about the giants. The godstone of Ingrid, goddess of knowledge, looks on as the caravan takes a much-needed rest. Ivor shoos some children away from a solitary dredge slinger lying dead beneath the stone. "Should we be worried about that?" you ask Ivor, pointing to the dredge body. "I don't think so," he replies. "Still, couldn't hurt to have a few guards look around." Hours pass without warning. Inspect the godstone. Ingrid's godstone is carved with ancient runes which don't make much sense to you, though Avon tells you some of the menders have deciphered them. It's how the menders learn the language of the gods. Past the largest stone, a long series of slabs contain more writing all the way down the hill. The odd thing, he tells you, is that the writing occasionally changes depending on who is reading it. Usually it describes the history of the gods, but it can be about nearly any topic. Sadly, Avon doesn't know how to read it himself. Juno could, he says. Pack up and move on. As you're readying to depart, you hear screams from near the main godstone. The same boys, so curious about the dead dredge before, are shrieking and pointing. For a moment you think it must not have been dead, but then you see that they have opened a wrapping that was in the dredge's hands. "Wait," says Ivor, his arms across your chest. "This shouldn't be seen. Get everyone away." A chill sweeps over you. Aled pushes past and gasps. "Stop!" shouts Ivor, but the curious onlookers have already seen it. "Leave it." On the ground before the dead slinger is a small stony figure, its hands searching for something it can't find. That's a baby. That dredge is a woman? We've been killing women? We've been slaughtering women and children this whole time? Leaving them to die? In a war, it's only the males who fight. We've been fighting these dredge the whole way. Why are women with children on their backs attacking us? They're not invading. They're running. Everyone stops dead in their tracks. The entire caravan is gathered around, aghast. When I spoke to Juno, she told me something was coming. She didn't know what. A darkness, something black is covering the world, and the dredge are running from it just as we're running from them. The serpent, the quake, it's all the beginning of the end. Ivor, you knew! Why? Why didn't you say something? Ivor? When I was young, I killed one of the Sunder, during the Second Great War. We called it rays. Every time we would build our defenses, it would flatten them and push us back again. I became separated from the rest of the Varl and stumbled upon Rays deep in a snowstorm, alone. She was nursing. I threw my axe, it twisted in the wind. Her son died in her arms. She was so pathetic, kneeling in the snow. She didn't even try to stop me when I took her head. That's how I killed the Sunder. When I found my way to Grofheim, the Varl wanted to make me Kender, next to be king. I left, walked until I ended up in Skoger, where no one knew what I had done. The only sound is the wind blowing through the trees. For a long time, nobody says a thing until a child breaks the silence. "What do we do with the baby?" she asks. A lump forms in your throat, looking at the small obsidian creature squirming before you. Let's put it to a vote. While some grumble about leaving it to chance, the caravan votes pretty clearly in favor of leaving the infant behind. It remains beneath the godstone as the caravan departs. You try to put the whole episode from your mind and focus now on reaching Sigerholm. And the starvation begins. I'm pretty sure you don't die from not eating for one day. Unar, the quirky old man with the leather headband, says, "If there's one thing I know better than women and mead, it's, well," he smiles. "Well, nothing, but I know when a group could use some help. Just nod and let old Unar make everything better. No questions now." Fine, we'd appreciate any help. That evening, Unar clears his throat and loudly recites a tale of travelers, ending with, "War and death behind them, seeking hope instead, they carried on with courage, using heart and head." A strange poem, but the caravan is happy for a change of pace. Unar bows and turns to assist the cooks. The evening's meal is larger than ever, yet the supply wagons seem more full than before. You look to thank Unar, but he is gone. Hooray for trickster gods! Where were you the day before when we lost 8 people?
As Sigerholm approaches, we fear the worst. The once calm lake surrounding it now looks like a bowl that has been flipped. Proud homes sinking into muddy water. A side effect of the quake. What has the rest of the world become on the other side of those mountains?
One catastrophe to another, says Oddleaf as you pull into Sigerholm. The town appears to be sinking into the lake. Townspeople peek from dark windows and makeshift hovels further up the hill. "No," says Avon, looking frantic. "Where is she?" He runs to the front of the caravan, looking out over the water. Juno isn't here, and you get the creeping feeling you're not welcome either. Going upriver looks out of the question. The beach is bare, aside from the occasional skeleton of a ruined fishing boat. You reluctantly set up camp in the sinking town. All I'm saying is, how long are you willing to wait? While taking stock of the caravan, you've inadvertently walked into a debate between Oddleaf and Avon. As long as we need to. And I think we need to get out of here. I don't feel good about this place. Why? What's wrong? Something doesn't feel right. The people here are staring at us like those vultures in the wastes. I'm sorry, Avon. I think Oddleaf is right. I saw a man. The whole time we were setting up, he was just watching me. In a creepy way. And how long before the dredge find us here? Juno will come. Just give it a little more time. Rook, listen to me. I need you to trust me on this. Let's go to market first. Actually, wait a minute. I want to check on the heroes. Everyone should be fine. Yeah, everyone's healed up. You will be coming out of there. I guess I could put Alette back in. I think we'll have better luck with someone else, though. Not Hogan. Maybe Mogan. Onef is 9 and 9. Ekil is still the better choice. Bastard that he is. No, god damn it. Don't double click. Okay. This will not last. Stop it. At least we could buy stuff here. How much further do we have? Well, actually, I mean, even though there's a town, this Reykjavik, we don't stop there. So this is a whole week to get down this way. At least that. We will starve right about here. It's like deja vu all over again. You're really worried about her, aren't you? What? Oh, Juno. Worried doesn't begin to describe it. If she doesn't find us here, or something has happened to her, are you sure what you saw was real? It could have been a dream, or I don't know. You were pretty exhausted. I don't know. To be honest, I'm not sure anymore. Everything is a blur. Don't tell the others I said that. I have to hope it wasn't just a dream. Why is Bellower still following us? I saw Grofheim as it burned. Oh shit. Why is my mouse double-clicking now? The Sunder blew through it like a tempest. The Varl fell in the thousands. Most of the Sunder left the city and headed south. Who knows where they are now? They might be destroying every town they come to or heading toward Arborang. Bellower stayed in Grofheim just for the sport of it, I think. As we fled to Einartoft, I thought he must want to wipe the Varl off the map completely. But then he came after us. Maybe he knew Ivor was the one who killed Rays. Maybe, but let's just make sure he doesn't catch up. Do you think this is the end times? I don't know what to think. I wish I could give you a better answer. Even if we escape the dredge, that serpent said a darkness was covering the world. I don't know how long that will take, or what it means even. I'm just trying to solve one problem at a time. The Menders are in Arborang. If we can find ships and make it to the capital, we might have a chance. What's it like to be a Mender? Being a Mender? I guess I never really thought about it like that. It's just part of me. They knew very young that I would join the Order. Born into it, you could say. My mother and father, both Menders. The guild is for lots of people now. Builders and healers. Do they all pull lightning out of the sky? No, that's not normal. It's one of the reasons I know Juno. She's one of the council. She helps me control things like this, so we don't end up scaring people. Exactly how does weaving work, anyway? Well, the hardest part is usually seeing the threads. Everything is part of the tapestry. It's made of threads woven together. If you can see the threads, you can manipulate them. I don't know how to explain it, really. It's like trying to play a harp with invisible strings. Look at my staff, for example. Some menders carve intricate patterns into the wood to help them remember the shapes of... like I said, hard to explain. I won't take any more time. No, it's okay, Rook. I appreciate the talk. It's good to stay grounded. I spend all day worrying about serpents or Sunder. I think a lot of people are intimidated or scared, maybe, of me. Don't worry, it's nothing new. I'm used to it. Maybe sometime we can talk about things that don't include the world ending. Alright, it's time to go. Rook, wait, please, Avon begs. She said she'd be here. We need her. You can tell he's terrified of leaving, as though he'd be giving up on Juno. You're full of shit, Avon. She's not coming. Avon looks out across the lake with a 1,000-mile stare. He says nothing. We've got problems, says Ivor. The whole place is flooded. We could try to walk the muddy parts, but it'll be slow. We could try to float the caravan over the lake, but we might tip or get stuck. Or we could just go around the whole thing, but no idea how long that'll take. What do you think? Well, crossing the river is the most dangerous part of Oregon Trail. Going around is going to lose us supplies. Trying to float across, we're probably going to lose supplies. I'm sure attempting to ford will also cause us to lose supplies. So, which loses us the most, I guess? I mean, not only do we lose supplies, it's possible people will drown. Well, sounds like fording the river or walking around we're going to lose time anyway, so let's just play it safe. You leave Sigerholm and start to feel your way around the flooded area, which has washed out the road completely. You continue far into wooded area, which slows you down even further. Already committed, you hope you didn't make a grave mistake. Apparently I did. You leave Sigerholm in a hurry, hoping to outpace the dredge that must be close behind. As you continue further south, you first hit overgrowth and then forest before finding land that is dry enough to follow back around. By the time you've circumvented the mud, you've lost a lot of time, and hope it doesn't haunt you later, it will. I feel that's the game's way of punishing you for not playing along with the joke. Actually, looks like we only lost a day of the supplies before we managed to make it out. A mother's screams flood the caravan. Her daughter lies dead in a tent. We all know who did this, she spits, staring directly at the woman she scuffled with previously. Murder over a marriage in these times? Something must be done. The accused woman remains silent. Investigate the death. A healer joins you in inspecting the young girl's corpse. An old infection, says the healer. No punctures, no choking, no poison. She died of disease. You report the news to the caravan. The mother admits that she had always known her daughter was ill, and everyone moves on. And here it is, this motherfucker. As you're about to head off to sleep for the night, Onef pulled you aside. I have a couple concerns I wanted to speak to you about, he says, in private. You find a quiet place to talk. What's on your mind? How well do you know the people traveling with us? How many strangers are in the caravan now? Is this about Ekil? That's an obvious example. I've been watching folks since I joined you. Your companions from Skoger, they're loyal. I mean, it seems pretty clear that they'd die to protect you. I suppose I'd do the same. What about the Varl? You don't even know half those warriors. You're telling me they have no problem following a man's orders now? After everything that happened at Einartoft? I trust Ivor to handle it. He's fearless, I'll give you that, but look at him, he's run ragged. He can't be there all the time. What happens the first time the Varl don't want to do what you tell them? Let's be honest, they could take this caravan by force at any time if they wanted to. What do you suggest? I suggest growing some balls instead of hoping it all works out, Rook. They're not the biggest problem, though. You are, you fucker. There's a mender with us. A mender who pulls lightning out of the sky and tells us what to do and where to go. Myself, I think we lucked out when his mentor didn't show up in Sigerholm. Avon's just the apprentice? What in the depths is his master capable of? Think about it, Rook. What do you really know about Avon? I heard they were found practically dead in the middle of nowhere when the dredge started showing up. Then an enormous serpent shows up at Einertoft after tearing the world in half. Takes one look at Avon and bolts. Suddenly they need our help instead of the Mender Council? How does that make any damn sense? You might be distorting what happened. Or Avon might be. I'm grateful for what you've done to get us this far, Rook. But it's always been about trust. I think it's time to part ways, so to speak. Nothing personal. Suddenly you gasp for air. When you look down, Onef is holding a knife buried deep in your ribs. Just completely out of nowhere, your vision blurs and blood fills your sight. You gasp again. There's a bird whistle and the camp becomes a blur of motion. Onef's fighters from Frostfeller leap into action, cutting people down. As Oddleaf turns to fire on the men, Onef runs her through and pulls the blade from her back without even breaking his stride. She drops like a sack of flour. In one clean motion, his blade then takes Egil in the throat before the boy can grab his shield. This is bullshit. Egil can die so many fucking times in this game. It is ridiculous. Onef heads straight for Alette, who freezes in unbridled terror. You rise to your feet through the pain. Egil and Oddleaf are dead. Somehow you find the strength to... No, she's not. Somehow you find the strength to cleave the nearest traitor in two, but you can't find the breath to shout. You think your lung might be punctured. Onef clutches Alette's wrist amidst the commotion, tosses her bow aside, and pulls her into the deep woods. Her eyes meet yours across the campsite. No, her lips say, though you can't hear the words. A dozen men appear between you as Ivor steps into view, as fearsome as you've ever seen him. for me. Was I not able to take that other one? We'll save it. Damn it. Double damn it, now I can't use that. No, it's gonna attack him, don't do that. It's gonna be really hard to beat him down though with that kind of armor. That's it? Now, this two. Horse shit. It says it does strength damage. What the fuck? And I can't do jack shit to him? I should be able to do something to him. What the fuck? What the fuck is that even about? I don't even know what the fuck is going on here. And it's fucking infuriating me. Select the fucking thing. There we go. fuck? What in the fuck is going on here? I can't do any damage to him. So it's his Stonewall ability that is blocking 3 damage, and it's saying since I wouldn't be able to do that, that is horseshit. May as well rest and gain back one of your points then. Fucking bastards. Woohoo! Worthless promotion. Don't have enough fucking points for it. Where is Alette? Shouts Ivor, tearing through the nearest bandit, but you're already hobbling into the deep woods where they disappeared, ignoring the battle raging behind you. In a haze of pain, you start to think you've lost their tracks. Then you hear Alette screaming in the distance, followed by silence. You tear through the trees. In a small clearing, Alette lies with her back against a tree. Her hands and her clothes are covered in blood. She stares vacantly ahead, unblinking. Beside her is the body of Onef, an arrow buried in his right eye as if placed there by hand. She looks in your direction and then at Onef. "I killed him," she says. Alette, are you alright? You cringe as much from the pain as the appearance of Alette after her bloody struggle with Onef. No, I'm not hurt. I had no choice. Dad, your chest, you're bleeding. Suddenly she is at your side, putting pressure on the wound. I can fix this. Where's my needle? Oddleaf, anyone! Ivor, I found them! Just as your sight goes black, you see Eyvind, Ivor, and Alette standing over you. He's going to make it? Your eyes open to the sounds of Alette's voice. Normally, a wound like that, I only hope I did enough. I'll survive. Dad! Oh, God damn it! Oddleaf? It's a good thing Eyvind was here. She's going to pull through, though it was a nasty wound. We managed to kill most of those treacherous sons of bitches, and the rest fled into the woods. There were a lot of people I couldn't save. You did everything you could, Eyvind. Nobody expects you to raise the dead. Eyvind frowns deeply, putting a hand to his forehead. Why did Onef do this, Rook? He was talking to you right before it happened. He'd been planning it all along. I think that much is clear. Egil killed a good half-dozen of Onef's men by himself. He told me Onef was running Frostfeller the whole time. Well, why didn't you say anything, you son of fucking... He left Frostfeller behind when he saw a better opportunity. Guess that relationship is over. Egil was always just the barking dog you put in the yard to find out who your enemies are. It was no accident Onef went after those of us from Skoger. He must have thought with us gone, he'd take the banner and the rest would fall in line. See, this is bullshit, because this is meant to happen. The developers give you no choice here. This has to happen. Whereas you got a choice with Ekil joining your party, you could leave him in the waste, you could just let him go. You had no choice with an F. That fucker was coming with us no matter what. Or at worst, they'd take all the supplies for themselves and leave the rest as dredge bait. We have to be more careful. We can't just let anyone join the caravan anymore. Well, I don't know what the fuck I just chose there. God fucking damn it! None of this changes the fact that Bellower is out there somewhere, following us. That swamp around Sigerholm might buy us some time, but we've got to keep moving. Well, I'm gonna stop this one here and find out what the fuck is going on with my mouse. See you next time.